Welcome in, guys, to this podcast. Today we'll be talking about, of course, the Raiders and how they went 1-0 this week, and they got that dub against division rival Denver Broncos yesterday afternoon. And we're just gonna go down and break down their performance and what we can look forward to next week against the hard AFC. I think the Raiders played decent enough yesterday. I think the defense won this game for us because they only give up 16 points, and when you're giving up less than 20, you should win a lot of games. Especially like 16, you should win a lot of games. And they just stepped up big in the second half. That first half had me a little worried at the end when they let the Denver Broncos go on that long drive to end the first half. And I was like, man, I was already sending text messages that our defensive coordinator Patrick Graham should be gone. They should let Rob or even Rex Ryan come in and take over, you know. But Patrick Graham survives another week, but still need to prove that defense. But they did win us this game yesterday. And this is one of those games last year where we probably would have lost, honestly, because we didn't win the close games last year. I remember we were in a lot of close games, and I believe we only, out of all of them, we only won one. So we're like 1-6, something like that last year. But this is a game where our famous owner, the great late Al Davis, this is the definition of just win, baby. Yesterday's game was the definition of just win, baby. The Raiders, the offense, the defense, the special teams played decent, but we did make a lot of mistakes, and let's get into that. First on offense, first drive of the game, boom, 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 came down the field, scored. But then I was going to see, all right, we scored, but then let the defense work. Let's see how the defense work. And they gave up a quick score, too, and then it was a little bit back and forth. We settled for a field goal, took an early 10-6 lead. But after that, it was like a grind to win this game. It felt like whoever was going to score the next touchdown was going to win. And staggered a little bit, and I expected that. You know, it's the first time they really played all together in a game. Same with the defense. But we did have a lot of fortunate penalties, costly ones, like roughing the kicker on the punt. It was like 4th and 15. That's just unexplainable. You can't do that, especially on that. You know, you're not trying to really block it, you know, trying to get a good field position. And another one on face mask, Diablo made a nice play, nice tackle, but he grabbed the face mask. And then we had a couple ones. The Marcus Peters one on illegal use of hands. That was kind of iffy because Russell Wilson was out of the pocket. So I didn't like that call by the refs. But yeah, these are the mistakes that we can't make going into Buffalo, because that's a better, I believe, better team. And they'll take advantage of those mistakes and beat us. You know, that's how we lose games. You know, those type of penalties where you give the offense of extra possession. You keep the defense on the field. They get tired out, you know. That takes away from our amazing offense potential that we could have, and give the other team another possession, you know, extend their drive. But the defense, man, second half defense, Diablo, you know, I think he played well in the second half. That first half was iffy, but he played well that second half. Probably the best game out of his Raider career so far. And, you know, Max Crosby, he did what he did. The one thing I want to say the Raiders probably got like a high grade on, the highest grade, like an A or B plus, was the tackling, man. Even though when they give up big plays and stuff, or they give up runs, they didn't give up those extra yards. The DBs especially made those great tackles, but those good tackles. The one iffy one was like the linebackers, where they'll come up and just try to nail someone, you know. No, you gotta wrap up and get those tackles, man. Tyrese Wilson, our first round pick. He looked kind of slow, you know, off the snap. What you expect when you haven't played in a while, missed the most of camp. And I just believe he's going to get better throughout the year. But that's a big issue right now, that front four. Other than Max Crosby, we're trying to get in there and get some sacks, man. We got to help out our man Max. And him too, he had a good game. Could have been better. He's always trying to get better, but he's our best defensive player. He disrupted enough to make that defense work. But yeah, you seen that early in the beginning, he wasn't containing Russell Wilson very well. As a whole, we weren't containing Russell Wilson a lot. We were letting him get outside the pocket, extend the play, make those throws, find the receivers. And it just hurts the DBs when we can't get in there and get the quarterback, and we're letting them have so much time. Eventually, someone's going to get open. And going into next week, we know Josh Allen is one of those players that likes extending plays, uses his legs, so we got to do a better job containing. I believe we're just going to get better, though. These DBs didn't really give up much. A couple big plays here and there, but nothing overall. I want to say Jimmy G, he did make that one mistake. Let's switch over to the offensive side. He did make that one mistake when he was throwing that ball into the end zone and got picked. See, plays like that we can't make against the good teams like the Buffalo Bills next week. That's like at least 3 points. We're taking that 3 points instead of throwing the pick. You just got to take the points like that when someone ain't open. But I liked how he responded, man. That grit he had. After that, the next possession we got, he came down the field, came on the line, we scored a touchdown, and we took the lead. Topped that off, then the defense played off that too, and they made a stop to get us the ball back. And on 3rd and 7, I believe, Jimmy G, boom, goes through his progression, can't find no one, runs for the first down, makes the first down. And let's say last year, some people might say our quarterback wouldn't make that play. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, he sacrificed his body on that, and that's what I love to see. And that iced the game for us right there with that play. And it just showed you what Jimmy G brings to the table. I believe it's a better offense just because he knows how to run the McDaniel system, even though I don't really agree that he's an upgrade, but it is what it is. He's an upgrade at the system, as a system whole. It's just same with Jacoby Myers. You've seen he and Jimmy G had that connection. Another guy from McDaniel's system that he just knew they were on the same page, man. He had 2 TDs, big ones, man, and Devontae Adams still did his thing. Didn't get his usual big game, 80 plus yards, 100 yards, 10 catches. But that's why we brought in a guy like Jacoby Myers too when they are doubling, because they had a lot of setups yesterday when it was Adams on the outside. Surtain, the great corner for the Broncos, he will take him. But once he came in the slot, the defense was boxing him up. One guy in, one guy on the outside, like a stack kind of. So that's when Jacoby Myers really came to play. When they do double Devontae Adams, that's when it frees up other guys. The one thing I'm not crazy concerned about, but concerned me, was Hunter Renfrow didn't really get no targets towards him, no catches. So that's one thing that concerns me. I know I have to go over the film again. There's some plays where he was open, and we just gotta see what's happening. But I don't expect this to be a big problem. I just believe that Jimmy G had a good connection with Jacoby Myers, and you seen it yesterday. With that being said, let's switch over to next week. We do play the Buffalo Bills. So can watch that game tonight, Monday night against the Jets, see what's going on. But it's going to be a hard game. Raiders don't really have good recent history on East Coast games, and especially it's going to be Buffalo's first home game. That crowd's going to be rocking, but I expect us to be ready, Jimmy G to be ready, Max Crosby, we can get him, the top leaders, Adams, Jacobs, Oh, let's not forget Robert Spillane, our linebacker, man. He was better than I expected to be, especially yesterday. Made a couple great plays. But yeah, this team cannot afford to make those mistakes we made yesterday against Buffalo, because Buffalo will cash in, especially on the defensive side. They have a decent defense. Jimmy G can't make those picks to lose this game. Jacobs too will come out better. He looked kind of rusty yesterday, but that's what I expected because he didn't really participate in our training camp. He did stay in shape and stuff, but it just, that team chemistry and stuff, it counts. Our rookies, they made rookie mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes in every facet of the game, especially rookies. We just expect them to get better, and that's why I expect Tillery. I love him. He's a great inside presence on the D line, but he just can't pick up those veteran penalties. He's a veteran now. He can't be picking up those unnecessary penalties that kill us and extend drives for the offense. But we're going to see what adjustments we do. I believe we're going to make a lot of adjustments on the offensive side. Defense got to tighten up a little bit. But we're going to see another special game out of these Raiders next week in Buffalo. And I hope you guys are watching, because this is a team I picked to win 11 games. Yes, I said 11, go 11-6, and at least win one playoff game. The potential is there, but that's the key word. It's just potential. It's just potential. If they work hard, they stay healthy, and they play how they're supposed to play, this team will be 11-6 and going into the playoffs. Most important thing, let's go 1-0 this week again against the Buffalo Bills. Let's go beat Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and those boys, and let's get another dub before we come home and host the Steelers. But thank you guys. Leave your comments down below, and let's talk Raider football or football in general. Tell me what your thoughts were about the game yesterday, and what do you expect out of this Raider season and this week coming up against Buffalo. Thank you guys. Enjoy.